Okay guys, gonna have a look at a couple of markets today, see what we can get.
Matron, take them away.
And a warm welcome to one and all. This is your first time here, I'm the big fella Scruff, and what I'm trying to do is put trading in the real world. Maybe show you a trick or two along the way. So if that sounds good and you find value in what I do take a second to hit the subscribe button. Genuinely helps and motivates me to do more. And if you certainly get value, smash the like, because then that at least helps YouTube spread the word. So what's the word today? Well, speaking to the guys in the Discord group, they wanted me to look at cable. And then there's a little salute to Dusty, our resident Baldylocks, who goaded me into carbon emissions. So it's carbon emissions I'll be looking at, as well as looking at Winky, because I've just seen her walk behind me with no clothes on.
You have caused confusion and delay, and terrible trouble to my trousers.
You got no clothes on?
Yes, I have.
You have not. Well, disgraceful. And you also see there's boxes everywhere because we're moving house on Saturday. So we're kind of living out of a suitcase at the moment. So that's going to be entertaining. So if you watch the channel, you'll see the other house, which is, well, pretty much like a war zone at the minute. But we'll pull it round. It'll be fine. Let's see if we can pull the charts round, shall we? Okay. So kind of looking at oil still for myself. Done quite well out of it, as you can see. We've had the first couple of bites out the cherry this morning. Now, in the Discord, just so that I can kind of show you, this is the rags and riches where we hold ourselves accountable for whether we good, bad or indifferent. And the idea is, if we bad, we lift each other up. If it's good, we pat each other on the back. And if it's indifferent, we discuss it. So that's what that's for. If you don't like to show your figures, you can drop it into what we call pip power, where it's based on the pips. Then you remove the money, because sometimes some people get a little bit frustrated when they see big numbers. Pip power means everybody's on a level playing field. We chit and chat to each other all the time, but this is the bit that I'm drawing attention to, the market call. What the market calls are, we have one every day, every working day. We have a Zoom call and we talk about whatever, just whatever's in our mind. We have a bit of a giggle as well, but ultimately it's to make us better traders. And it's not always about the charts, it's about what's in your mind and how we perceive the charts, because this morning we were discussing that. Because you can have two traders look at the same chart with the same information and have opposing positions, but still be both right, because they have an argument as to why they're right. The key between them is patience. So that's what it was. But anyway, inside this, there he is there, little baldy locks, just there, goaded me into carbon emissions. Now, we did goad me yesterday, and I did do a full breakdown for them, which is there. So I told them yesterday pretty much what I expect, and today we're going to do it. All right. So I guess I'm just being accountable, but also in that market call, if I flick this back, and we might be able to see him as well. There he is. Little Bunter and Danny. So it's a salute to the pair of them, because they're both asking about cable. And what I've done for that is, this morning I've done a chart read on cable, exactly what I expect from it this morning. Now, so 2 markets, 3 if oil comes back into play. What else have we done? We've done the strengths, which I do every morning. What this will do, this will pull out whether it's good, bad or indifferent for the Forex market. Now, if I'm looking at sort of cable, we can see pound and US are pretty much sitting together. But when we do look at this, the pound is losing ground. and so is the dollar, but they're not massively apart. So I'm not looking for big moves on cable today, because they are sitting on top of each other. And then I take that a step further, where at the top of the hour, it's now 9:15. So they saw this a while ago. This is telling me that we're going to sell cable, but it's telling me to wait. No trade at this moment in time. So patience is the virtue here. So what I might do with this is do what's called a set and forget. I'll put the order in and just let it get on with it, while I'm concentrating on the buy for carbon, which is telling me it's pretty much good to go. All right. So that's the premise of what's going on. That's actually coming in now. So let me just check on something. I just need to drop this down. Yes, I'm going to drop its first order in. Now, we're not going to go merry mad with this, because it can be a bit of a vicious market, this one. So I'll just drop an order in. There we go. Okay. And we'll put the target into the next stop point. Right, so let me explain what's going on with this. The order's in here. With this one, what we're going to do is, it's in a green zone. I want it to pull back on itself. All right, so let's have a look, see what's happening on the 5 minute. We can see there's a consolidation point here. I would like it to pull up. So the base of that swing looks reasonable. So let me just draw a zone on so that I can highlight that. In around this area here. Okay. Just so you can see the difference. So that could be a potential area to get in here. So get in there and then roll over because of all of this chop. Okay. If it triggers, amazing. If it doesn't trigger, I'm not that worried. But what we'll do is we'll put a sell order at that point, and we'll see if it comes back to it. Okay. So it's sort of the base of there, back down into the middle of that cluster. So that's just an order that can look after itself, because this market isn't quite ready yet. And what I would like to see is this move up. Okay, I'll revisit this at 10 o'clock. So the next one is this. Okay, so what have we got here? Right, these blocks are the order points that I put in the video that I just showed you in the squad. Now, the dotted lines, etc., all show areas of attraction. What I would like this to get to, in other words, the key support and resistance and Fibonacci numbers. Now, we can see that's just been triggered in. Excellent. So if I look to pull this down to the lowest point, we can see that grey box can be a potential target. But we don't have to move far on this market. Just get rid of that. Let me just delve into that somewhat. This is a 5 minute chart. Okay. If we're entering around this area, which we are, and it's up and down, this is where I wanted to transact business. I'm happy to stage down to the base of this. Okay. So what you'll see is you'll see additional orders come here with an idea to go up to there. And it can make you some good money going backwards into a trade. So let me just set that up a little bit. Just be a second. Just drop some orders in so that we can see what it is. Okay. So they're all going to be buy orders. Okay. We're going to target the same area, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to just start off by putting a couple in. to the base of the swing. Okay. Right, there we go. All right. So what we've got one here to pick up in this cluster. We've already been triggered here. Now, the thing with this market is it does have quite a vicious spread. It's about 6, but its ATR is quite big. Okay. And what we're looking at is then if it comes to sweep this, it'll pick that back up and then we'll run it up to this here. All right. So that's the premise of this trade. Now it's starting to push up again. All right. Because we've got all of the spread to work out. If we take this to the daily, you might get an idea of what we're looking at. We've had a huge drive. It's pushed down. It's tried to go up, but then it's had a colossal drop. Okay. Now this colossal drop is starting to slow down. And how do I know that? Because I can see the tails at the bottom here. Okay. There's none at the top. So the pressure is actually pushing from the bottom side up. And you can see it here. Now, as it's come down, it's found its level here. And it's struggling with it. Now, if it does break through, it'll get down to the black one. Okay. Oh, and then you've got to kind of reevaluate it because that's quite a ways on this market. It's quite a vicious market, this. Okay. So, got to be a bit careful. Take it to a 4 hourly. You start seeing the level start spreading out a little bit. And we can see this a little bit more clearly. And now you can see why I'm going to trade down into this. Because this can be a key area of attraction. Excellent. My oil trades have just triggered. So there's my oil trades running as well. So that's good. We'll keep an eye on those. So I'm happy with that. Boom, boom, boom. That's running up. So oil's kind of paying them off. Now I'm happy for that to run down to there into this and then bounce back up. Look at the hourly. And it's still teetering around. We'll see what happens over the next 40 minutes. It's keyed in the second order. Okay. Let's see what happens. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to let this one run out. We'll see how we get on. And then with luck, cable will trigger as well. And I'll come back to you at the end and I'll show you what's going on. Now, I do have a meeting at 11 o'clock with a company. That want to interview me, so we'll have a look and then I'll come back this afternoon and we'll see if we're good, bad or indifferent. Catch you in a bit. Okay guys, I'm back. Let's have a look, see what's going on. If you remember, I set up some set and forgets, had a little bit of oil running, and we'll see, and then we'll jump back to the chart. So there's oil. We have had money out of it. It is running again. I'm going to let that pull back. I'm going to re-enter the market and then let it drop back down. So we're just going to take that out now. So up to now, this is what we've been up to. So we've got a little bit out of carbon emissions already. And we've also got some out of crude oil. Now, we looked at cable. And if we just switch this off so that I can clean up what's going on, we'll see that that has come down. It's now pushing away back up. I think we'll leave it and let that run back down into target of sorts. I'll watch that. I might actually be coming back up to that. So I'm going to take that off as well for now. And I'm going to re-enter in a moment. And then we've got carbon emissions. Okay. So let's clean this up and have a little look. Right, it's dropped back down. We got the first bites out. It's re-triggered this, look to re-trigger this, enter the money and then come back into it again. So it has stayed in the area that I was after. but I still think it's going to push up to here. We sat in a bit of heat. It wasn't overly excessive. It went down there. It was a bit painful, but it stayed in the zone that I wanted it to, so I'm happy with that. So now what we're going to do is we're just going to manage this out and see what happens. Ideally, I'd like it to push down and pick that up. If it doesn't, not to worry. We've been paid royally. We can close off and be net positive to quite a tune, because we've got 1,400 in the bank. Okay, so as you can see, we can wipe that off. It's not an issue. So that's what we're going to do. Right, so let me play this out. It's all set and forget because I've got loads to do today. I'm going to keep in half an eye on it. I'll check it every half hour or so and see how we go. But I will watch cable. Let me just drop that back a second. See, it's gone to exactly where I thought, so I was right to pull that off. I'll let that candle run because it's got a minute left. Then I'll see what I want to do with it for pushing to the downside. Okay, so that's what we're going to do, but this is the one we're keeping an eye on. Okay guys, we're done. That's cable out, and we've also finished this. If I drop this back down to sort of 15 minutes, show you what's going on. See, it's stalling here. I'm quite happy, and we got some money out of oil as well. So what's happened? Well, it's been a bit of a roller coaster day. Just shy of buggy. If I'd held that, that would have hit bloody 2,000, because I can see it there screaming up. So the analysis was correct. I'm quite happy with what's going on. I could have held a bit more for cable, but I'm not overly too worried about that. But I think 1900's not bad. And what you kind of want to take away from this is have your plan and stick to it. Now, my plan with cable was actually to have a cup of coffee and just kind of watch it in the wings. It's why it was a set and forget, because I knew it would push up before it would come down. Oil, what you saw me doing, I'll look at it again this afternoon, so there may be another video on that later, simply because there's a big gap to fill and it's working its way down to that gap, and I've been in it since pretty much last week, and you've seen me getting money in and out, money in and out, and it's paid me very well. So do go through the videos and you'll see that exercise. And the guys in the squad, they might comment into this, and I do implore them to comment and just verify that I've been working oil all week and it's done exactly what I said it would do. The trade that I've just done for carbon, I predicted sort of the other day that it'll be for today, and that was for Baldy Locks, little Dusty there. Said it would push up before it goes down, and that's what I was looking for, but I was being conservative with it. If I'd held it, it would have actually done quite well. In fact, I'll show you that. that is there, pushing up to where originally I had. It was between these two areas, and sure enough, it's gone up. But that's sod's law for you. And it's a little bit like cable. Again, cable was a hard trade, so I was being relatively conservative with it. And that's what gives me my consistency. I'm not greedy, guys. If you are just going for it over and over, looking for money, chasing money, you'll find you don't have any. However, if you follow the process, you'll be fine. You know, the money will just look after itself. And then as your account grows, you can put a bigger position on. And if you put a bigger position on, you're still doing the same thing, but you're getting paid more. And that's how it works. I don't subscribe to anything that most of you are taught. You know, risk reward, couldn't care less. Stop has one job, protect the account. That's it. The profit is what I get off the other side. The two of them are not connected in any shape or form. That to me is a sales pitch. And what's the sales pitch? You're shit at your job, but I'll pay you anyway. Well, if you worked in my factory and you would sit at your job, I'd sack you. Well, that's what the market does. So they have to be separate. You do an analysis of the chart. You pick a direction, you justify the direction, and then you trade your plan. Now, is that not common sense, guys? Or am I living in cloud cuckoo land? But if I'm in cloud cuckoo land, I'm well paid in cloud cuckoo land. I do what I like, when I like, and I answer to nobody. So, who's got it right? I don't know. Anyway, I'm moving house this weekend, so I think I'll have next week off. And why? Because I've just paid for it today. That's the beauty of this job. We can have our freedom. Not so much financial freedom, time freedom. I'm by no means wealthy, guys. I'm really not. You know, I just earn a wage. But the one thing I do have, which most of you don't, is choice. I can choose whether I want to work today or whether I don't. I can choose if I want to work next week or not, or whether I want to get on an airplane and go on holiday. I can do it when I choose. I'm not at the mercy of the man. That's what this gives me. It gives me freedom of choice. So if you've enjoyed that and you want to see some more, do subscribe. I genuinely answer every single comment. Can't answer everything correctly, but I will always answer it. If you want to see the way that I trade and understand how I trade, do drop down into the Scruffy squad and you'll see it, bare bones and all. We have Zoom calls every day and it's a good community to be part of. And there's a few links down there as well. You get 5% off the 5%. There's prop fund, there's broker of choice, all sorts in the description. So as always, guys, trade well, keep your risk managed, but above all, do what you love and the money will follow. See you all in the next one.